Hey everyone, in today's video, we're going to be diving into the dreaded P0305 fault code. Cylinder 5 misfire detected. This is a common issue that can affect a wide range of vehicles, and it can cause a variety of symptoms, including rough idling, loss of power, and even increased emissions. In this video, we'll be taking a comprehensive look at the P0305 code, including what it means, what causes it, and how to fix it. We'll also be providing some tips on how to prevent this code from coming back in the future. So, if you're experiencing a P0305 code, or if you just want to learn more about this common issue, then be sure to check out this video. The P0305 fault code indicates a misfire in cylinder number 5 of your engine. This means that the combustion process in that cylinder is not occurring properly, which can lead to a variety of problems including reduced engine power, increased fuel consumption, and even damage to the catalytic converter. There are a number of possible causes of the P0305 fault code. These include spark plug problems. The spark plug in cylinder may 5th be worn out, fouled, or damaged. Ignition coil problems. The ignition coil for cylinder may 5th be faulty. Fuel injector problems. The fuel injector for cylinder may 5th be clogged or leaking. Vacuum leak. There may be a vacuum leak in the intake manifold near cylinder 5. Compression problems. There may be a problem with the compression in cylinder 5, such as a worn piston ring or a valve that is not sealing properly. The first step in diagnosing the P0305 fault code is to check the spark plugs. If the spark plugs are worn out, fouled, or damaged, they will need to be replaced. If the spark plugs look good, then the next step is to check the ignition coil. If the ignition coil is faulty, it will need to be replaced. If the spark plugs and ignition coil are both good, then the next step is to check the fuel injector. If the fuel injector is clogged or leaking, it will need to be cleaned or replaced. If the fuel injector is good, then the next step is to check for a vacuum leak. If there is a vacuum leak, it will need to be repaired. If all of the above checks are good, then the next step is to check the compression in cylinder 5. If the compression is low, then there may be a problem with the piston rings or valves. This will require further diagnosis and repair by a qualified mechanic. The way to fix the P0305 fault code depends on the underlying cause of the problem. If the problem is caused by a spark plug, ignition coil, or fuel injector, then the solution is to replace the faulty component. If the problem is caused by a vacuum leak, then the solution is to repair the leak. If the problem is caused by low compression, then the solution will require further diagnosis and repair by a qualified mechanic. The P0305 fault code is a serious problem that can lead to a number of other problems if it is not addressed. If you are experiencing this code, it is important to diagnose and fix the problem as soon as possible. By following the steps outlined in this guide, you can diagnose and fix the P0305 fault code and get your engine running smoothly again. The P0305 code indicates a misfire in cylinder number 5. This can cause a variety of symptoms including rough idle. The engine may vibrate or shake excessively when idling. Loss of power. The engine may feel sluggish or hesitate when accelerating. Increased fuel consumption. The engine may use more fuel than usual. Check engine light. The check engine light will likely illuminate on the dashboard. There are a few ways to diagnose the P0305 code. One way is to use a scan tool to read the trouble codes from the Engine Control Unit, ECU. The scan tool will display the code P0305, as well as any other codes that may be present. Another way to diagnose the P0305 code is to perform a visual inspection of the engine. Look for any loose or damaged spark plugs, spark plug wires, or ignition coils. You should also check the air filter and the mass airflow sensor, MAF, to make sure they are clean and functioning properly. If you are not comfortable diagnosing the P0305 code yourself, you can take your vehicle to a qualified mechanic. The mechanic will be able to diagnose the code and recommend the appropriate repairs. The most common cause of the P0305 code is a faulty spark plug or spark plug wire. To repair the code, you will need to replace the faulty spark plug or spark plug wire. In some cases, the ignition coil may also need to be replaced. If the spark plugs and spark plug wires are not the problem may be with the fuel injectors or the fuel system. In this case, you will need to have the fuel injectors cleaned or replaced, or the fuel system repaired. Once the repairs are complete, the P0305 code should be cleared and the engine should run smoothly again.